We're back again. I want to take you through, just done an EX raid, the second one of the day, which was yesterday for you lot. I do apologise, it's a bit of a hodgepodge video. So what I want to do is I want to go through some of the Master League, because obviously I haven't bothered with the Great League and Ultra League in terms of doing it for a video. So the Master League is what interests me, because it's an entirely different style of gameplay and meta. A couple of points. So number one, you need 100% IV Pokemon, or things with 15 attack. You need maxed out Pokemon, even with your best buddy boost as well, getting up to level 41. You're going to need that that sort of high CP range, because that's, you know, no level cap on Master League, which is interesting. Second thing is it's going to be mostly dominated by legendaries and pseudo-legendary Pokemon. So, I mean, I've been using Dialga. I have a maxed out 96% Dialga with 15 attack, which does very, very well. There's Giratina Origin form. There are pseudo-legendary Pokemon like Dragonite, Tyranitar, and then some of the good starters like Swampert is still featured in it, Togekiss. There's an interesting meta, which when I pop back home, I know I've literally just done the intro with the coffee and all that jazz, I thought I'd be talking while I'm doing the raid, but hey ho. The third worrying point is it's very expensive. Very, very expensive, because of the fact you need maxed out Pokemon, because of the fact that it's all legendaries and stuff. It costs, most things cost 100,000 dust and 100 candies to unlock a second charge move, which second charge moves play a huge part in PvP. And because a lot of things are legendary, and they've only been around like once or twice, you're not really going to have too much candy available, so it's going to cost rare candy, which is going to cost raid passes, etc. So it's a very expensive league, essentially. But I want to take you through the kind of meta that's forming, and I'll do a couple of battles and walk you through what I'm personally using and what I'm finding very useful. So let's go back home. I'm actually checking out Trader Tips video as I speak. So now back at home, just going to take you through a few little details. So like I just said, Master League is pretty much the most expensive league you're going to be competing in. Obviously, there's a quid pro quo with that. Upside is that, you know, the Pokemon that you've been using to potentially take out raid bosses, even if you're a fairly new player, you would have powered up some counters, hopefully. So, for example, Tornadus. I mean, you might have powered up a Tyranitar with Smackdown Rocks, Smackdown Stone Edge even, or powered up an Ice type or something. Something you've got some high level stuff on. Which means you could use those Pokemon in the PvP Master League. The downside is the Pokemon that are focused in the meta, like I said, are mostly legendary, pseudo-legendary, so they're quite rare, or very, very rare in the sense that, you know, I mean, Dialga hasn't been in raids now for about a year, because that was, crikey, was that March, April, May last year? I can't remember. I would suggest Lucky Trade, because if you can save yourself half the dust to power up, that's fantastic, but obviously you're going to need some rare candy, or walk them a lot. If you head over to PvPoke, which is a very good site, and if you want to delve into the PvP sort of testing matchups and stuff, it's very, very good for that. I did use it occasionally for Ultra League, but Ultra League, I haven't made videos on Great and Ultra League because I didn't have time, and my teams were kind of mediocre, and I was still finding my feet with the battle system. And to be fair, this is still pre-season. This is the last like week or two of pre-season, so they're still ironing out bugs and glitches and stuff. There is a hilarious new bug in the sense that somebody, your opponent, can suddenly gain 5 shields and let off 3 charge attacks of, you know, basically replicating their charge attack instantly. PvPoke, great website to go and look at your put in your Pokemon stats, and there's another one is go and follow them on Twitter. Nick has shown this already, but it's quite useful to see which Pokemon you potentially could take advantage of, and getting 2 special trades per day. You do want to get the highest IV possible, so 100% like I said, or something with 15 attack, because here 15 attack is going to make the difference between you getting your charge move off first compared to your opponent. If you don't have 15 attack, you're going to lose out on the simultaneous charge attack head-to-head competition, I guess. So there are some main Pokemon, which I've already said Dialga, I've said the 2 forms of Giratina, Togekiss, Swampert is another one. Swampert I would definitely say, because Mudkip still nests, I'm pretty sure. It had a community day as well, so you need the legacy move from community day on it, and also it's not too bad in terms of like trying to find candy. If you walk it as your buddy, it's only 3 kilometers compared to Dialga, which is 20, so that's quite interesting. Dragonite is up there, although for me personally I wouldn't throw in anything that has a double weakness if possible. You'll see in some of my battles later on that I might be a bit of a hypocrite with that one. So there's things like Mewtwo, the normal Mewtwo, not armoured, that's coming up, well, it's already out again for a week. You got Snorlax, which, you know, a couple of these Pokemon were prevalent in Ultra League, and you need to power them up and max them out to make them into Master League. There are a few counter picks, which are Pokemon that are not necessarily the meta central Pokemon, but they are going to counter quite a few in that pool. So you got things like Heatran. Remember, we had shiny Heatran recently. If you get a good one, I've got a shiny 98, which, I mean, ignore me because I'm not powering anything up for another 5 months or something stupid. So Heatran's a good one to have. We've just had a Rhyperior Community Day. Hopefully you got a good one with that. Hopefully you got some trades. Rhyperior with Rock Wrecker and Surf is brilliant because it counters quite a lot of those Pokemon, including Dialga, key to counter Dialga. And then you got finally Gyarados with some selection of very quick moves. There's a couple of other ones, so I guess, for example, if you don't have any legendary Pokemon, you can look to get some pretty decent Pokemon out of the raid system. So you've got things like Tyranitar is in the raid system, you've got Machamp in the raid system. The raid bosses will shift by the time this video goes up because they'll all come out to counter Armored Mewtwo. So you might be seeing a lot of Ghost and Dark type and Bug raid bosses for the next week. Oh, and also you've got the bloody clone Pokemon. Christ. I have a trial, basically. That's what I'm certainly trying. I have a couple of maxed out very, very good meta-relevant Pokemon like this, but I have a pretty unorthodox team in some ways, because my Rhyperior I'm using actually has superpower Surf, so it's not the key move. I haven't got one maxed out with the new move Rock Wrecker because I'm not spending dust personally. I highly recommend that if you're not doing the silly game that we're doing in our little group of saving your dust for GoFest maxing sesh at the pub, put some dust into Rhyperior, put some dust and candies into Swampert, and if you're thinking rare candy, Dialga's a great one, but do bear in mind that I think Dialga will probably come back this summer. That's just my hearsay right now. I do think it's going to happen because it was raided hardcore when it was here without a shiny, because it's a very, very good Pokemon and gets some interesting moves, and it's fantastic dragon type in the sense that it's not countered by other dragons. It can only be countered by ground and fighting types, which is where it's pretty interesting. You have to look at your Pokemon and think, do they have a double weakness? Do they have a lot of resistances? This is where certain Pokemon shine through, like Dialga, because it's dragon type, doesn't get countered by other dragons. Obviously it's a steel type, dual type, but it's the only steel type I think that doesn't get countered by fire because of the dragon pairing. So that's where the entire meta forms around that sort of powerhouse of Dialga. Anyway, look, I'm rabbiting on, so I'm going to have a go at some battles and see where we match up with the people online at the moment. Let's go and battle with the basic rewards. Master League at the moment, right, that's not ideal. My second team is dead, so let me just revive. The only top side to this, and the fact that it's very expensive, is if you unlock second moves on all of these Pokemon, you're going to have a bit more varied use for them in terms of raid boss counters. So for example, Raikou. Now Raikou, top electric type in the game, maxes out just under 3,500 I believe. I will be trying to get my 100%er to Best Buddy at some point in the near future. But it learns Thundershock, Wild Charge, fantastic moveset, but also in its move pool it has Shadow Ball. Now when the PvP system originally came out, it took a bit of time, but Niantic added an extra move onto each one of the legendary beasts. They gave Entei Ironhead and they gave Suicune something else, I can't remember to be honest. But Raikou, because it's a key counter to Kyogre, that'll be great. But then if you think about the meta, if somebody then whips out an Origin form Giratina, or any Giratina, you know, even a Mewtwo or something, if your Raikou has a second move, Shadow Ball, it serves two purposes. So that's where you're sort of thinking about type coverage in terms of your second moves, which is quite interesting. I'm very interested in it. I may second move my 100%er when I get to GoFest. Having one Pokemon to counter at least, you know, 3 or 4 different ones that you may face is actually fantastic. And Raikou charges up very, very quickly. However, if we jump into the battles here, you're going to see that I'm not currently using Raikou. The team I've been working with is my Master League 1, leading off with Dialga, which quite a few people have maxed out Dialga, I've found. But then my Rhyperior, which I've seen once or twice. I haven't seen too many people have this one, but mine has a pretty interesting moveset. Superpower is a bit irritating because it does drop your own defense and attack, I believe. Mewtwo has a whole plethora of moves, which is fantastic, which is why in my last video, or a couple of videos ago, I said this Pokemon anniversary event you should stock up on some Mewtwo candy, because if you're thinking Master League, Mewtwo is an ultimate raid counter anyway for so many Pokemon, including itself in a way, and even ghost types. It still forms in the meta there, so having it as a raid counter, you're going to want a good IV1 powered up, and also, you know, it's good now in Master League. It always was good in Master League. So you use quadruple 8 with the Pikachu Libre outfits. Let's see how we do with this, because I have experienced quite a few bugs. Mewtwo, okay, he's got a best buddy Mewtwo actually. I'm very respectful of that, but as you can see, Dragon, oh, is he going to switch? Okay, so he switched to fighting type. Let me switch back to my Mewtwo. So this is the thing, as soon as you switch, you are a bit in the crap really, because you're giving up the switch priority. Let's not shield that. Dynamic Punch should, not very effective, but still does a decent chunk of damage. Psychic, right, this should, even if he shields this could drop his attack. This is the other thing, is I haven't done any bloody videos on any of this, but the attacks and stuff have different stat effects, and have been added in. Might shield that next one, because Dynamic Punch is very, very extremely good at taking you down. I approve of the Conkeldurr maxing though. Must say I approve of that. And here we go. We have our first bout of lag. There we go. So I suspect this might be I could have done that better. He's not going to shield that because that's almost taken down. He will probably, if he's got any sense, he'll probably bring his Mewtwo back out. Let's see, I do have another switch available. He's got his Mewtwo out, thought so. We are not going to shield that, we will let Mewtwo go. We're going to do that. There we go, gone. And we're going to whack out Dialga again and get an Iron Head off. Now the thing is, if you play enough and you look at your own Pokemon, you'll be able to learn which moves they can actually learn. So you can have a very nice idea of potentially which Pokemon you're going to come up against and which movesets they might be running. So he didn't really need to shield that Iron Head, to be honest. They have Psy Strike, which is a very, very powerful move. He's going to switch again. He's got Kyogre. Now, if he, I mean, I just get my Draco Meteor off, it's going to drop my attack stat massively. This is the thing, some of these big charge moves now drop your own attack and defense and things like that. But it's a one-hit kill. Oh, it's only attack fell harshly. Okay, so I have no more shields left. His Mewtwo only is in the red. I have a whole Rhyperior available, which is going to do decent neutral damage. Look at that. Smackdown. What? Now, he could have Ice Beam, which would severely screw me over. No, I think he hasn't second moved his Mewtwo, which I can't really blame him for, but we won that. I'm not the best battle commentator, I must say. I need to do the battles and then actually plan what I'm going to say properly, because I'm concentrating too much on it. Let's go for a second battle. We'll run exactly the same team, and we'll see what we come up against. So I haven't seen very many people bring in an Origin form Giratina yet, which is the only one I'm really kind of worried about, because I don't have anything to counter it apart from my Dialga. Here we go, Dialga versus Dialga. Now this is where it becomes entirely, yes, see, I've got higher CP. If you look at the very top there, they're going to switch out to their Togekiss, and I'm going to switch out to my Rhyperior, which has Smackdown. Now admittedly Charm is still going to do a horrific amount of damage, but Smackdown is super effective. Well, not, it is Smackdown, forgive me. None of Togekiss's moves are going to be very good, I think. Ancient Power shouldn't do very much. It then learns Flamethrower, obviously not going to do very much. and Aerial Ace does no damage whatsoever. The only one, if I think it could, it has a fairy type charge move, forgive me, that it can learn, but I don't see too many people running it because they had all of them set up for Ultra League. And we are going to get another Surf off. He might shield this, which is fine. Shielded, pretty sensible dude. He's going to chunk me down. Now, I won't bother shielding that because I've got no energy saved up at all, and I have like 1 HP, so I'm going to let him tank me down, and then we'll bring in our Mewtwo with Ice Beam. Now, Ice Beam is going to be super effective against him, which is nice to see. He does have one more shield available, which he may use. No, he didn't, but to be fair, he had like so little health available. Now, they're going to probably bring their Dialga back in, and we're going to switch back to our Dialga. Boom, there. He does have a lot more health than we do, but we have energy saved up, and hopefully can bait his shield. Baited his shield, and I've got 2 shields left, so I'm definitely going to shield 1 on Dialga. Mewtwo was taking a bit of a battering there. Don't know what his other Pokemon's going to be, actually. We'll have to see. Alright, before I die on this, we're going to get this off. It's a bit irritating because I could have played this a bit better. Rhyperior with its superpower would have been really, really good against this Dialga, but we just took his Dialga down. Only just, but we have like no health left. Swampert. I think this might be a decent matchup actually. If we go Ice Beam, he has no shields available. We have a pretty decent amount of energy left. Not sure if it's going to be super effective or not. Pretty good. Pretty good. Incoming attack. How has he already got energy on this? I swear we haven't seen Swampert. I mean, it's kind of a blur. Muddy Water. That's why. We can get another Ice Beam off. Nicely done. So this should KO him. He should be out for the count. Done and dusted. That's where the second move on some legendaries is going to come very nicely into play, because you just have more type coverage. Way more type coverage than somebody who's running a single set move. Fantastic. So we got an item, Charge TM, Fast TM even, Fast TM. Don't particularly need them, if I'm honest. I'm not going to divulge from my meta. We'll do this battle. Senso QEK 12, like the coat and the Magikarp hat. I rocked the Magikarp hat for a good long time back in 2017 or wherever it was. Ooh, Rhyperior. Interesting. Right, I'm probably going to have to switch because he's going to have extremely horrible moves. So we've swapped now. He's still going to chunk us down. He's probably got Rock Wrecker on this. This is my thinking. And also, I'm quite curious to see how Rock Wrecker is going to appear in PvP. Yep, there we go, we've got Rock Wrecker. It's not super effective, but my god is it damaging. So, if he doesn't shield this, he is done. You jammy bastard. So he's actually running Dragon... I think he's running Dragon Tail? Oh no, he's not, he's running Dragon Breath. Okay, it was just lag. So Dragon Breath on Dragonite is exactly the same as why Dialga is a bit of a Master League beast. Both his shields gone. He may be able to tap us out. Do we burn? Let's burn the last shield because I have no other counters apart from my Dialga for this Dragonite. So if I can get my Ice Beam off, Mewtwo will have served its purpose very nicely. And then we'll see what Pokemon he comes out with, because of course we will have switch priority again. So, let's see, is he going to bring his Metagross? Ooh, interesting. Rhyperior. Rhyperior, interesting. So, it's a bit of a hit or miss, this one, because obviously Metagross... Ooh, that was an interesting tie. This is 100%. So unless he's got Earthquake, ooh, devastating. But Rhyperior has so much bulk, it doesn't particularly matter. So I do want to get an Excellent on this if I can. Bang. So it didn't do too much damage. We both went down. It's Oh no, it's not. It's Rhyperior versus Dialga. Oh my god, I forgot. Right, we are Draco Meteoring the living hell out of that, because neither of us have any shields left. If I don't get this, I don't get it. Yes! There we go. Even though our attack fell harshly afterwards, see, that's the point of potentially saving your energy before it. But that's our third win in a row. Not too bad. Dialga is just OP in this meta. It's insane. Even though Draco Meteor has that debuff effect, Iron Head is nice and easy. Dragon Breath is an absolutely killer fast move. That's why you can run it on Latios and Dragonite. We're going for battle number 4. I'm going to be boring. We're being boring and sticking with the same team. So, Prince K 201. Let's see what you got, Sunshine. I mean, he's rocking the same jumper, so I already like the guy. Swampert, so this is where I'm in trouble. Immediately in trouble, because of the fact he probably has Earthquake. Although he's running Water Gun, which is very, very weird. Do you know what? Let's risk it. He's got Hydro Cannon. Okay, cool. That's fine, because I can now switch and potentially go for Mewtwo with Ice Beam. He may switch as well. Hydro Cannon is very, very quick to charge up. That's one of Swampert's biggest favours or pros in Master League, or any league, to be honest. There we go. You weren't expecting Ice Beam, were you? That was nasty. Mewtwo versus Mewtwo. Oh, okay, he's gone for Dialga. Okay, right, let's try and attack what am I saying? Sorry. Not a very good commentator. Going for Psychic, because Psychic, even if he shields it like that, sure, didn't drop his... Get another Psychic off, just in time. I'm hoping to debuff his defense. That's my aim with this, because Mewtwo's already served its purpose. Not very effective, but still took a large amount of damage. We're going to risk it with Rhyperior, because I have 2 shields left. He only has 1. Even if he has Draco Meteor, which I think he might have been saving up for, actually. Yep, he saved up for Draco Meteor. This is somebody who only has 1 charge move on their Dialga. Because anybody with 2 charge moves, you would not just, you wouldn't be running Draco Meteor with Thunder. You wouldn't have 2 big charge moves like that. You would want Iron Head to try and bait some shields. Both his shields are now gone, even though he's got, I believe, Confusion on his Mewtwo. We're going to tank it out. Psy Strike. That was a bad idea. Ooh! Ah, really? If we can just boom, 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 babbly, babbly, bap. There we go. Draco Meteor. Right, this should pretty much KO him. I didn't actually. Oh god, I keep forgetting if he's used his shields or not. There we go. Done and dusted. Done. This is where Dialga as a lead and as a closer, rather, is actually very, very good. But I think this is my first encounter on camera from Go Battle League. I did get a Scraggy, god, weeks ago. 1 Scraggy, and I've literally had about 6 Snivy in a row now. Tepig. I mean, it's not any good. I can tell you that immediately, because 618 from level 20 is the hundo, because it's obviously an encounter. It's not research, this is like an encounter. Let's think, we haven't seen too many Togekiss, have we? 4 battles and 1 person had a Togekiss. I think there were 2 or 3 Dialgas, 3 Mewtwo's, 1 Rhyperior, 2 Swamperts. The only thing that's holding me off running this second team is the fact that my 100% Metagross doesn't have a second move, and neither does my Latios. Let's be dull. Let's be dull. Marines 9558. Let's see what you got, Sunshine. Ooh, okay, I might be off to a winner here, because I actually have the winning priority here, because even though he's got pretty good movesets, even though Giratina is the recommended #1 PvP Pokemon for Master League, I've got some lag, which isn't great. Weak connection. Are you mad? Oh, Groudon. Okay, we are going to switch the funk out of there. We're going Mewtwo now. I do appreciate the shiny Groudon. I rate the shiny Groudon. I'm going to shield that. Yeah, Earthquake. Christ, Earthquake takes no damage at all or no energy to charge up anymore. That was really quick on him, unless we just had some lag. Giratina, even though it's like #1 recommended Master League Pokemon, it just it has a lot of weaknesses. Earthquake, one hit kill. We're gonna have to bring Dialga back in and go Iron Head. And at least you saw that we have Draco Meteor there as well. I'm not going to use that because I need to use that as a closing move. He's used up both his shields now, as have I, which is a fatal mistake because Dialga is probably going to die. We might lose this. We might lose this one because Iron Head is not going to do very much damage against his Groudon. We have the switch priority though. Oh, no, I take it back. We won that matchup. He's going to bring back his Giratina, which is quite a foolish thing to do, seeing that as my Dragon Breath just absolutely tanks it. Did you see that? Boom! Gone. And Kyogre. Now, this is a problem because my only remaining Pokemon is Rhyperior, which is double weak to water, I believe, or maybe single weak to water. It doesn't matter. Did you see that? All of Kyogre's health gone. I think it was 3,900 though, so it wasn't a completely maxed out Kyogre, I must say that. But there we go, 5 for 5 wins in Master League. I would say that's entirely down to the team, pretty much, because I've got all of those Pokemon I've chosen the second move. They're all very meta relevant. It would be better if my Rhyperior had Rock Wrecker on it though, but hey ho. Anyway, claim the rewards. That is the furthest up rank 8 I have got in a long time. 4,100 dust. Very nice, and we need to do some more kilometers before we get another couple of battles. So I'm actually going to leave it there. Definitely linked in the description is PvPoke website, and give him a follow on Twitter because there's some very nice graphics on there. Master League is very, very interesting in my point of view. Probably my personal favourite league because it gives you a chance to actually use your raid counters, no matter what they are, if they're pseudo-legendary, if they're just legendary or whatever. You're not faffing around looking for stupid IVs like 0, 14, 13 on your your attack, defense and HP. You're looking for 100%. It is a much more simple meta, but vastly more expensive, depending on how you play it. With that, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you are new with notifications on, and throw a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Would you like to see me do some more PvP stuff? Because I'd like to see how I get on in this Master League rank, because it's probably the league that I'm most interested in. Let me know if you're excited for this Master League. I think it might only be here for a week because Season 1 I think starts on the Sunday, March the 1st. Anyway, I've been rabbiting on for a very long time, so thank you very much. Take care everybody.